Welcome to, what are we calling it these days? Smell It Sunday on its brand new channel, Aromatically Speaking. And I want to quickly address something real quick. The hair, it is what it is. Like Popeye, or olive oil was it? Always, no, it was Popeye said, I am who I am. Anyway, there's two groups of you out there. There's a group that are joining in right now. I see that we have about 20 people in the chat room right now, but also there's going to be those of you who join later in the day or join at some other time. And the headline of this video is not clickbait, kind of. It really is the oldest Yankee Candle I've ever seen, but I do want to address a bunch of other stuff through the day. So if you're here to see this old candle later on, if you're watching this at a later time, fast forward to when you see me talking about the candle, if that's all that you're interested. In the meantime, I'm going to address some other things. I have some items to show off, some things to talk about. The first thing that we always have to do is pull up you guys on my screen. And if it looks like I'm like disheveled and out of breath, it's only because I was really cutting it. And out of breath. Only because I was really cutting it. Creepy. Stop it. There you go. It's because I was cutting it to the last second today. Stop it. There you go. It's because I was cutting it to the last second today. Alright. So now I see you all. Cruz Bat, you're from California. I did not know that. I don't think I did. So we have Industrial Wasteland. We have Angie, Naomi, Carol, Cruz Bat 1, Cheryl Douglas, Laura Zapp, Naomi, Nancy, Cruz Bat again, Caress, still don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, and we have Nicole, and Scott, Industrial Wasteland. I just want to let you know that I'm going to be sending you an email regarding the subscription box for last month. So give me till about midday. When I say midday, from now until the end of the day. All right. Coffee is in hand. How is everybody doing? Hello from New Jersey, the New Jersey Shore. You know, I've never done a video at the New Jersey Shore. I had planned to go to Atlantic City a bunch of times, but it just never seems to work out. But I really want to hit up certain areas of New Jersey, but that'll be more summertime. All right, so have we all? Nicole, I love Atlantic City. What is your favorite? If you like to play the slots, I'm gonna just try to keep fixing the hair as I'm talking, and I'm actually gonna pull out this light here because I don't think it's necessary, and it's making me look like. Is that better or is that worse? It's that light. People. It's a mixture of not being prepared and me trying to be a perfectionist. That can go up. Atlantic City. Probably for the best. Only time I went to Atlantic City, my friend got mugged. Well, I've heard a lot of stories about that. I just stay on the boardwalk side. So I usually stay at resorts, which I believe is the oldest resort / casino in Atlantic City. Could be completely wrong by that. Nicole likes the slots, blackjack, and the roulette. Oh, so you're like hardcore casino, like you're Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci kind of casino. I don't really gamble. I don't like it. It makes me mad. In fact, just any games make me mad. But there are a lot of things for me, and probably for you folks who've spent time at the Jersey Shore Atlantic City specifically, where I think they're worth documenting. I think that it deserves a trip, and I in fact haven't been there in years. I don't even know what still exists. I recently heard that they tore down or completely revamped the Wild West. Is that what it was called? It was, I believe, a subsection of Bally's Casino, and they had all these great animatronics of like cowboys and people. You know, this animatronic, this guy skimming for gold, and it would talk, and the donkey would interact. It was a beautiful thing. They ripped it all out, which makes me very sad. Rianne from the EPC family asks, what is a good candle brand? Because in Holland, we don't have a good brand I like. Monica Carlson from Super Simple Arts and Crafts. She's in the house. How you doing, Monica? I don't know, Rianne. You know, I would have to look. I would have to see what's distributed in Holland. I wish that was an easy answer. I don't have that. What are we talking about, Monica? Well, did we not read the title, the headline of this video? We're gonna wait for a little bit till we get to that, because I want to make sure. A lot of people have been saying they've been getting the notifications late, and so I just want to fill up some time before we actually talk about this candle. In the meantime, how about we light some candles? Still have Mark Smith and Tanya's Edison lighter. Amazon, people, Amazon. It's finally on its second charge. I have my fractal jar back here, which I am loving. A lot of you have asking after my haul at the Yankee Candle Village why I was talking about it since I already owned it. Well, I wanted to show you. I didn't buy a second one. I should have bought a second one, but I liked it so much I wanted to make sure that I spoke about it. Nancy, thank you so much. Yes, thumbs up, people, thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, what's happening here? What's happening? We're doing really good with subscriptions on this channel. You know, it was hard enough trying to build subscriptions for the main channel, the Candle Enthusiast. And I have a lot of plans for this new channel. They're not just going to be live videos. A lot of content that's not candle related is going to start being moved to this second channel, which means we really have to start from the beginning and get those subscriptions up. Now, why am I doing that? Did anybody see my last In-Betweens video? Did you guys watch that? I liked editing it. I liked filming it. It's always very fun. I have countless hours of this sorts of material. I just enjoy. I enjoy cutting it. Enjoy making it. All right, Horror Queen. Have a great trip at the grocery shop. And why don't you vlog it? Vlog it and post it. So okay, here finally we have people talking about the In-Betweens. Yeah, there was a lot of nice, very, very nice comments. And trust me, those comments that you post on videos like that mean so much more to me than like the comments from the candle reviews. Candle reviews are great. You know, I do put a lot of time and effort into making those. You know, there's a lot of editing time. I really want them to be lit well. This is a poor example. This is very poor lighting. But those videos are works of passion, and the response from it was great. Tons of likes, moderate amount of views. But here's the problem. With all of the positivity of that video, lost 10 subscribers because of that video. Because people are subscribed to the Candle Enthusiast for candles, 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 candles. And they see this video pop up with me in the car looking like a moron. And that's not what they subscribe to. They want to see candles. So I think there's a lot of figuring out to do, but Aromatic Adventures maybe will be moving to this channel, as well as the in-betweens and all of our spontaneous lives and Smell It Sundays. And then we're just going to keep the Candle Enthusiasts for candles, and then try to get people to come be interested into the candles, and then hopefully get hooked on what we're doing at the Candle Enthusiast, and then decide to jump over to the new channel. It's a huge venture, I know, but I have not shown the candle yet, SS Flower. I will show it soon. And she's asking, did you show it and what is it? Okay, so clickbait. Is it clickbait? The oldest Yankee Candle I've ever seen. Well, no, that's not clickbait. It's certainly the oldest I've ever seen. It's the oldest one I've ever held. And there's absolutely just no documentation unless you have a chat with Michael Kittredge II, or Senior, about the history. And you know, it's hard to get in contact with Mike Kittredge these days. It's hard enough to get in contact with his son, who's the proprietor of Kringle Candle, Mick the Third. So while we're waiting to show, I'm going to show you a bunch of old stuff. I had to break out a bunch of candles from Yankee Candle that are old. So they were in a light proof box. Light proof box, which essentially means it's just a box with, you know, like a lid. Because you put a lid on it, it's light proof. But I did have to take them out. I have them here. I've been saying it for about 2 weeks now. I'm going to film a video of my collection, and I just keep thinking, how am I going to do this and keep it in like under 10 minutes, under 10 to 15 minutes, because I don't want to make videos any longer than that unless they're documentary style. So in the meantime, I'll show you some of the things I have. They're kind of spoiler alerts for those videos. But before we even do that, I'm going to show you some interesting finds that I have. You know, going through the collection made me find a bunch of things that I'm saying, you know what, I don't really need it anymore. I love all of these candles, but I need to raise money for this show. If we're going to hit the road hardcore in February, we need to raise a little bit more funds. So I'm going to put some more things up on eBay. It's been eBay crazy lately. So first is, if you remember, it's a pretty old video by now. I did a video on olive and thyme. And when you see olive and thyme, this was a UK candle. You know, you see it at the outlet, or you see a video on YouTube that's promoting olive and thyme. Don't lie. There's just a natural instinct to skip it. Like, olive and thyme? No, I want to hear something fun. But this is one that you really, really should pay attention to. That is if you do like olives, because there's incredible amount of authenticity coming through in this candle. And in the video I produced, I walked into a random delicatessen, talked to the owner, Jack, who I've heard of before because he's kind of like a legend in the town where his shop is, because he's been there forever. But I've never spoke to the man, and I asked him if I could do a short little interview where I talked to him about a candle. He was laughing. All of his employees were kind of laughing and giggling, not necessarily at me, but just at the notion that there's this guy with the camera coming in and wants to talk about candles. And I gave him this candle. I had him open it up and smell it. And within about 5 minutes, not even. Really, it was more like 3 minutes. I could see by the look in his face. And if you watch that video, you will be able to see the look on his face of how this guy goes from laughing and giggling to being like, oh man, like, I'm really digging this candle, and it's bringing back some hardcore childhood emotions. And it was just one of the greatest interviews I've had to conduct, and I just was so happy that I got it on film and that it translated so well. So what I did was, when I found a bunch of these candles, I purchased a few because a lot of you said, why didn't you give him the candle? And honestly, it didn't even occur to me at the time. Since then, it's, you know, I walked into the shop a few times to try to film me giving Jack this candle, saying, to tell him like all my viewers want to see me give him this candle. And we just couldn't work out a time, but I did give Jack this candle, and he was very appreciative. He was also very busy making sandwiches, but I do have one left over. I'm certainly keeping 2 for myself because I want to keep one and I want to burn one, but this one I have extra. So keep your eye on eBay, and the best way to do this is to follow me on eBay. I'll have in all of my videos, the link for my official The Candle Enthusiast eBay page will be posted. When you go to my page, hit follow. This way you'll be notified every time I post something. Because a lot of people are saying, you got to remind us. Well, I don't want to go remind everybody on the Facebook page every day. I just feel like that's just loading up the YouTube feed with, you know, spam. Especially when I'm promoting myself. So that's going on eBay. And then possibly, and this is being shipped out, not today because it's Sunday, but this is going to be shipped out to one of our most loyal and friendly subscribers, candle enthusiast, candle maker. This is an ornament. This is an ornament from Santa's Village. And it's handmade, it's hand painted, it's made out of a resin plastic, and this is going to Miss Leslie Pethybridge. No. I'm sorry. Leslie got the Anna drawing. I drew Anna from Frozen. This is going to boy. What's it? I can't remember who it is now. I can't remember. But it is a loyal fan of ours. Is it Nicole? I don't want to guess and be wrong. But anyway, yeah. So this went for $5. And you'd be like, oh, are you upset that you sold it for $5? No, I like when some auctions go for a small amount. So I want you guys to be able to get candles for a cheap price. Because sometimes they go for such an inflated cost that I don't mind selling candles for really cheap prices. On many occasions, especially this week, some gems went out the door for like $8. Nancy says, I love the artwork. I wanted it, but I lost auction, sad face. It's okay. There'll be more. There'll be more. How do I find you on eBay? Okay, so I'm just going to type it in. You can't click this link and go. Oh, you could. Well, let me do it. I just don't want you to disappear right now. So it's ebay.com/ this is the weird part, USR. It's not USER, user. It's USR and then Aromatic Adventures. So there you go. That's all you have to do. But honestly, if you search Aromatic Adventures, it's probably going to pop up. And like I said, follow, because there's some interesting ones coming up. So this was one, I honestly, folks, I still don't know if I want to part with this, because this just put a smile on my face. It's one of those rare tokens that you'll find in an outlet. It's a calamity of mistakes, and I love it. First, we have blue wax. Now, I will be super impressed if someone can tell me what this candle should be without even seeing the label. You see how it has the snowflakes on the glass? And it's this bright baby blue wax, paraffin wax. It's got a lot of luster to it. It's very shiny. Snow is glistening. Anne, you're amazing. She's absolutely right. So here is Snow is Glistening. This is from 2015. There's no banner on this one, but you see the wax, it looks different on the camera. It's only because of the lighting. It's the same. It really is the same. But this is my Snow is Glistening candle. Here is where things get interesting. Check this out. What? What? Snow? Season of Peace? No way. Wait, what? Look, this is, to me, this was an awesome find. I'm like, a blue wax, Snow is Glistening jar of one of my favorite and most intriguing Yankee Candles, Season of Peace. And this is what the real Season of Peace looks like. It's just the bright white paraffin wax. But this one has that blue color. But what fragrance is actually inside? Two fragrances. Inside this glass, or inside this jar, we have Snow is Glistening, but it's mixed with chocolate. Wait a minute. Can you imagine that? Like a very pear apple laundry room clean scent with white blossoms mixed with milk chocolate. That's weird. That's weird. But you know what? That is a relic for me. This is like having a misprinted dollar bill or coin. I wanted to keep this in my collection, but like I said, I want to raise a little bit of money for February. So if you're at all interested in having this in your collection, a complete calamity. I don't want to say disaster, because it's actually a pretty awesome find if you ask me. That will be up on eBay as well. Still have several of Wildflower Blossoms, or Blooms, excuse me. That is, we're still a month away, at least, from when this is going to be released. But I was just pretty sure this was going to be just another floral, you know, Yankee Candle, one that's just going to kill the sinuses. No, it's amazingly not light, but light on the florals, and I haven't reviewed that. I have to do that this week, but the priority this week is getting the Witch City Wicks candles done. Several of them. We have the Christmas, and we have Wolf Moon from Witch City Wicks. We've already missed the Wolf Moon this year. It was the 2nd of January, but there's 2 full moons this year in January, so we're having a blue moon. So I figured, you know, I'll film it on, oh, you know what? It might be tonight or tomorrow, the full moon. So we have a blue moon coming very soon. Season of Chocolate Covered Cotton. Yes, yes. It's kind of what it is. Anthony. Is Anthony in the house? There he is. March 5th. So, wow. So, if there's any source we can rely on, that's going to be Anthony from CandleCafe. And if, for whatever reason, you're not subscribed to Anthony, just do it. Just go and just do it. Because I've always liked how he's approached his evaluations. They're just so truthful. He doesn't try to, you know, kind of put a cherry on top of everything. He's very truthful, but at the same time, his passion for Yankee Candle comes through in every single video he makes. So, huge shout out to Anthony. It's always an honor when he stops in. And he's telling us that March 5th is the release of Wildflower Bloom. So I was thinking mid-February. So we actually got a good amount of time. So if you want to get your hands on this early, if you're a reviewer on YouTube, or if you just want to have something to impress your friends, or bring it into Yankee Candle, even, make the associates in the shop a little envious, share it with them. It's a great way to make friends at your local Yankee Candle shop. February 5th. For Rainbow Cookie. All right. Rainbow Cookie. God, it feels like I've been talking about that one forever, and it's still not out. That was a surprise. That one was a surprise for me. Especially considering I was thinking it was going to be some form of like the UK's macaroon treats. It is not. All right, since we got Anthony, and I know his time is precious, I want to show you some of the things I'm going to highlight on my collections video. Let me just grab a few things. I'm coming. I am coming. This is very scary because I'm juggling a lot of money's worth of candles in my hands right now. Alright, so if you missed my last live on this channel, it was a quick 15-minute live. I showed you a very old format of Yankee candles. Now, these are called cannikins. Cannikins were Yankee candles made in these like standard paint cans. This vessel idea was around, it says on here, since the 19th century. But during Yankees' time, when they had their first shop in Holyoke, this is what they were producing the majority of their candles. And they were also doing taper candles, candlesticks, scented candlesticks. But this right here is just about my age. This, you know, trying to really track down the age. I've done enough research that this is probably approaching 35 years old. And what's better is that there's wax inside. Now, I've already had one of these, but there was no lid, and the label looks pretty good. There's a couple stains on it, but this was one of the first fragrances. I always said it was the first fragrance that Yankee Candle ever released, which apparently I was wrong. Now I have to check my facts, but the first ever Yankee Candle scent, it was Rose on Stonewalk. It's a very interesting name, but Rose of Stonewalk would be eventually the name would be changed to Fresh Cut Roses. That is nuts. That Cliff Walk, thank you, and wow. Fresh Cut Roses, it would become this fragrance. Rose of Stone Walk. Wow, you guys know your Yankee Candle. So I was wrong about this being the first fragrance. But what is, if you're excluding Fresh Cut Roses, what is the oldest, still in production, Yankee Candle, if you were to exclude Fresh Cut Roses? So these Yankee Candles, Cannikins, were made just about up until the time Yankee moved production up to South Deerfield. And it was shortly thereafter the house warmer jar was initially introduced. It looked completely different than it does today. So Cannikins. But that is not, that's not the end. Usually when we think of old Yankee Candles, everyone's mind goes to the black band. And right there we have a mistletoe. And the older black bands have a black border around the photograph. So this would be the second wave of this look of black band, and black bands officially disappeared in 2004. This is mistletoe. It smells amazing for a candle that is quite possibly 15 to 20 years old. Yeah. And then we have a dear gift from Cecily. We have to remember this was, if not the first, the second ever release of Witch's Brew. Angie's got to go. Bye, Angie. We'll see you soon. Okay, so Cruisebet says a jar from 1981. Now, Cruisebet, like I said, if you ever want to send me a picture, I won't share it with anybody. But I'm very curious to see what that jar is, because Cruisebet, I hope it's okay that I'm sharing this, says that he has a jar that has not South Deerfield on it. But you did send me a photo? Through what? Email? I have to find that. It has Holyoke on it. This is when production was in Hatley, but their store was in Holyoke. So that's going to be older than some of these that I'm about to show you. Now, predating the black band candle, so predating these guys, we have something that goes all the way back to the early 80s. And here it is. This is what housewarmers, really, not housewarmers, but some of the first apothecary jar candles looked like. And yes, they were country kitchen candles. So I have to shield the light here. This should do. So that's what they look like. You know, country kitchen we associate with, like, you know, we find them at TJ Maxx now, and they were re-released years ago in this format, but it was in celebration of some of the first housewarmer jars, and the name wasn't printed on the label. It was printed just with a little sticker on top of the jar. This one is Maple Walnut. If I had to put a year on this, I'm going to say 1986. It smells like maple. It smells like walnut. And there's a vintage quality to it that I enjoy. I mean, I would certainly want to burn this, just like an aged wine. So there you go. That is an old Yankee Candle right there. lovely part of my collection. I have several other black bands. I sold some for this year for Christmas. Cecily walked home with the brand new black band Christmas cookies. That was a tough one to give up. So before Yankee Candle had printed labels, they're they actually had hand colored labels. Like it was printed obviously, but to add color, they were individually they went in there with a colored pencil. So now we're talking about pretty dang old. This is going to be somewhere in the realm of 83, and this is a candle entitled Cape Flowers. Yes, Yankee Candle made scented pillar candles. They did for up until the mid-90s, maybe even later. But this was from a very specific era. The Yankee Candle font wasn't even picked at this point. Yankee Candle. I know it's blurry, guys. Yankee Candle Co. And take a look at this inscription. Beautiful, nice calligraphy description of the candle right on here. Cape Flowers. Wildflowers are abundant throughout Cape Cod beachlands. Honeysuckle, beach pea, salt mist, rose, sea lavender, and heather. These familiar Cape flowers grow among the native evergreens. Their combined fragrance is well known to outdoor enthusiasts on the Cape shores. And below that it says, these candles are handcrafted by the Yankee Candle Company Incorporated. Bingo, bango. And guess what? You better believe this still smells wonderful. There's a tiny little hole in the plastic right there. Only hole in this whole thing. There's the bottom label too. And this is, I mean, I wonder how well pillar candles would sell if Yankee Candle still had them. Because if this smells as strong as it does now, I can't imagine what it smelled like back when it was first released. You know, pillar candles are never going to smell as much as jar candles, because to keep their form and without like melting, looking like a big glob, you have to use a higher ratio of paraffin to fragrance oils. But these have stood the test of time, almost in near perfect condition. So this is a very precious part of my collection. Have you ever seen that Yankee Candle label before? That's what they all looked like. Look at that. All right. And I might as well promote a video that I'm working on right now. I'll give you a little sneak peek. If I can find it. So, as you know, in 2017, last year, Yankee Candle did a pouring of Fireside. I'm guessing because of people just demanding that this fragrance come back. It was becoming really hard to find. It was available at the Yankee Candle Village for a while, and this candle went out to TJ Maxx's, Marshall's, Home Goods, places like that. I think it was available on the website, but it didn't go to Yankee Candle retail. And when I smelled it, I'm like, wow, man, it's been a long time since I smelled this, and this is good. the aroma profile is so retro that it's almost like back in style. Big time men's cologne profile, not modern days men's cologne. I'm not talking about Life's a Breeze with lavender and, you know, jasmine and orange blossom. No, this is like, you know, to me this smells like my dad's Lincoln Continental that he purchased in 1983. It just has that more classic 80s, 70s men's cologne profile. But then that made me think, when I got my hands on this, it made me think, because it's a big topic for people, is whether or not Yankee candles that are poured today are different or somehow not the same than the originals, the old ones. So what did I do? I just found a black band, Fireside Treats. This one was released in 1998 and unburnt, perfect condition, no real significant color change, or when you smell it, there's no oxidation on the wax, which means that this thing was stored in really great conditions, and probably the jar wasn't even opened for probably over a decade. And look how tight these house warmer jars stuck on back then. Would never be a problem holding it by the lid, where today, well, this is actually pretty good, but it's definitely not as strong. Anyway, so my idea was to side by side sniff, break down Fireside, and then compare it to the black band, see if there was any quality difference, any complexity difference, any difference in the depth of the candle, and just see how, you know, the variances, and trying to also consider that it's a much older candle. It's a little bit different, and that's all I'm gonna give you, because I'm putting together a full video. I think there's some truth behind, you know, there's good reason to still buy black band Yankee candles whenever you can find them, if you're willing to pay the price for them. If you have a favorite candle that was around in the 90s, track it down in a black band. Now, it's always a little bit of a risk, because some of them may have been stored like in someone's windowsill for 10 years and the candle's completely destroyed, but that is certainly not the case for this one. So there's that. Alright, so the candle that we've all been waiting for, I'm going to postpone it for just one more second, because look at that. You know what that is? Oh, that is a matchbook of Yankee Candle. Date would have to be in the early 90s, because we see was it the, I don't know how to pronounce it, Trajan font was finally used, and the word company was dropped. This will be going up on eBay. Why? Because I have another one that's in my collection. And Eric, is Eric still here? Yes, so we're talking about Yankee Candle Village. Is that something? Yeah, Anthony says, I would say you could easily spend a half day there, and you could even make a full day out of it. And if you wanted to check out Kringle Candle Store, it's 10 minutes away. All of that is completely true. The only thing I would add to that is go on a weekday, off season if you can. If you went tomorrow morning, whole place is yours. It's like an empty amusement park slash shopping mall. You're the only one, like Dawn of the Dead style. It's somewhat surreal. If you go on the weekends, it's great. It's great to see the families and people, you know, the expressions on their faces. But for me, I just love having the place to myself. Eric is still here. Eric, does this look familiar to you? This is something that I've forgotten. Wait, is this not from Eric? There's just so much stuff coming in the mail. No, I am sorry. I'm sorry, Eric. This was not from you. This was from Political Clownfish. And I don't think we have Political Clownfish in the chat room today. But for Christmas, he did something really special. Unfortunately, I wasn't up for the challenge. What he did was he took a bunch of wax pieces, like remnants of different candles or tarts or votives. It looks like there were tarts. And he labeled them by letters. He gave me a list of instructions of having me try to figure out the fragrance, of each one. And I tried, but since these were already melted to such a point, the fragrance is just not there. When I was smelling them, I mean, I know that, say for example, this one could easily be April showers, but I don't want to go out and be wrong, because, you know, a lot of the fragrance oils have diminished. But really cool idea, and I do want to apologize for not accepting your challenge, but I want to commend you for the excellent idea. And maybe in a private email, I'll try to give it my best, give it my all, and try to name these candles. Excellent idea. Now the time we've all been waiting for, and if you're still here and you've been waiting to see this, I appreciate it. We have the oldest Yankee Candle I personally have ever seen. And guess what? I own it. I own it. For many years, I didn't even know it existed. If you do an image search on Google or any search engine, and you type in the oldest Halloween candle, there was a candle released probably in the early 90s, mid-early 90s, simply called Halloween. It was a black band jar, and it had a picture of jack-o'-lantern, and it was just called Halloween. But that would have been at the very earliest, like 89. And I have one that's older than that. Are you ready? Now, I'm not saying this is the oldest, but this is certainly the oldest one I've ever seen pictured or have held in my hand. It's another pillar candle. Are you guys excited? I want to hear one person say you're excited. Da, da, da. Anyone? Anyone? Hugh John Carpenter's Halloween theme. Here we go. Pillar candle, a little bit different. You see that it has the potato chip ridges, ruffles. And let me flip it around and show you what this is. Wow, look at that. Can you read that? Where is Spooky Villages? He would be going insane right now. This candle is called Halloween Candy, and we do see that candy corn on the picture. This was when, in 1986, Yankee Candle officially moved from this hand-colored label to picture-printed color printed label. So this is pinpointed to 1986. I'm almost certain of it. It could have been around, you know, could have been around again for 87, 88. But this too, from all I know, and if anyone has any evidence of a candle that's older than this, please let me know, because this is the stuff that really gets me excited. Again, this candle is going to be dual colored. On top we have kind of a butter cream color. I'm sure it was much more yellow when it was released, and we have the orange on the bottom. I don't know if there was a yellow and a white layer, can't really tell, but let's read the description of this candle. This is the best part. Halloween candy. American youngsters of the early 1900s used Halloween as a night for mischief. Out after sundown, in disguise, they gleefully soaped shadows. Now, I don't know what that means. They gleefully soaped windows. See, its printing is a little bit worn off. That makes sense. They soaped windows, toppled outhouses. That's gross. And swapped cows between neighbors. These kids sound like really irresponsible. I'll continue. Trick-or-treating came to be as it's fading. Trick-or-treating came to be as, can't find that word, not to wreak havoc. I'm guessing it's more or less came to be, the point was not to wreak havoc. Nowadays, little ones scurry between houses carrying sacks of loot. Halloween is a night for make-believe and fun. This is my definition of Halloween. I know a lot of people don't celebrate Halloween for many different reasons, but yes, to me, that's what Halloween encapsulates. It's a night for fantasy. It's a night for make-believe, and I think it's one of the most special holidays. But the big question is, what does this smell like? Is this going to be a cotton candy corn scented candle? I'm not going to open it. At least not today, but there's always a little tiny hole. I just made one. And I would love to tell you that this smells like sour balls and Skittles, lemon heads, jujubes, Mike and Ike's, Good and Plenty's, but it does seem to be a very similar aromatic profile to any candy corn scented candle. Now, the question is, would this wax smell the same as this down here? I think so, but I'm not going to take the plastic off of this. But I am getting that vague. It's not as strong as, say, something like this. But then again, candy corn has always been a vague-ish candle. This was the 2013. A lot of people made fun of that label. I think this is one of the best. Yeah, you know, it's just candy corn was never really a powerful fragrance, but we have no reason to complain now because we have Sweet Seduction, which is a massively intense candle. So there it is, folks. Let me see if I can get any more information off the bottom. There's just burning instructions on the bottom. It does say Yankee Candle, South Deerfield. So whenever your candle says South Deerfield on there, you know that the candle can't be older than 1983. And because this one has the printed label, that happened in 1986, the color printed label. So there it is. What do you think? I still would love to get that Halloween candle and the apothecary jar, the house warmer, but I'm not going to pay $2,000 for it. Let's see what you guys are saying. Witch's Brew is fantastic. I agree. I buy it every year. Carrie said, I thought you were opening it. No, 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 no. Yeah, to, I guess, further explain, the buttercream, honey fragrance that's very light. That's what candy corn smells like, right? That is a lot of candles, Connor says. You mean like here? Yeah, this is, each one of those shelves holds 500 pounds. And I have several of these. The reason why I'm always filming in this direction, this is my office, because this right here is disastrous. The day I show off all my racks of candles in the office, I want to make it look nice. So I am working on that video. Carol, you're very welcome. I always love sharing. I figured I might as well share on this channel these candles because just talking about these few took about 15-20 minutes. I'm trying to remember. Jordan asks, why are some online only? What is this in reference to? Autumn Dusk? Yes, Autumn Dusk was an online exclusive. And what was sad is it never really appeared in the outlets in its US label. It appeared in the UK label, which, you know, sorry for you folks in Europe, Germany, Finland, Italy, whatever countries that Yankee Candles are distributed to, but the Autumn Dusk label, I don't usually share my opinions, for the US was far superior. Very beautiful on the UK label, but it's the first time that the label was actually cropped from a US label. The label for Europe, UK looked like that, and the colors were not as saturated. And look at the difference between that, right, getting close, and that. We didn't even see most of the ground in the UK label. So this was very beautiful. And, you know, I don't do like my favorite scents of the year, especially because how am I going to decide between that and this? Moonbeams on Pumpkins. Speaking of Moonbeams on Pumpkins, that's not it. But I have one with a personalized label that was given to me by the Yankee Candle Village. I want to thank them very much about that. And Yankee Candle recently reached out to me, if you didn't see my Facebook post, a direct message on Twitter. Excuse me. It simply said, we love all your videos. We'd love to share something with you as well. What is your address? First thing I'm thinking is, oh God, spam. But wasn't. It was legitimately from Yankee Candle. So there's something that they're sending me in the mail, and that's very exciting. You know, I hope it's just candles. I really, and not because I just want to throw them in my collection, but if Yankee Candle sends me their candles, then a large part of the budget of this show would be saved. This way I can review them, produce the videos. They're getting advertisement for free, and yeah, the production cost of actually buying the Yankee Candles will go down. Ba-ba-bum. All right, do we have any questions? Is there anything? Yes, okay, that's a good point. I am going to post the link to the Facebook group. Now, this is something that you really should request to join. I did not create this. Our lovely Rachel put this together. There's several new administrators. They're all awesome, working very hard, helping to promote, helping the mission of the Candle Enthusiast. And it's the best way to keep up to date with everything going on with... Whoa, that is a long link. That is a long link. It won't even let me send it. Just go to the Yankee Candle fan group. The Yankee Candle. The Candle Enthusiast fan group on Facebook. You'll easily find it. Request to join. They'll ask you a series of questions just to know that you're, you know, nobody who means any harm. And you get on in, and yeah, you'll stay up to date. And I love the fact that the main topic of the fan group is not me. You know, it's what you guys are buying, what you guys are burning, your stories. That's exactly what I've always wanted. I wanted this community of folks that wasn't just driven by me, but was driven by the combination of myself and the audience. The eBay link didn't work for you either. USR Aromatic Adventures. I could have spelled it wrong. Well, first of all, let me go to it, see if it pops up. Okay, so look, if you take this link and paste it in Google, your first result will be, where'd you guys go? The first result will be follow Aromatic Adventures on eBay. And I highly recommend you follow, because I don't want to annoy everybody with posting every day. This is what I have on eBay. This is what I have up on eBay. Jordan. I see at the Yankee Candle retail stores that they have sheets describing all notes of the candles. Do you have access to all of these description sheets? The retail store would not give me a copy. Yes, they will not do that. They actually have something called the Fragrance Handbook. The Fragrance Handbook. And this used to be, trust me, I tried, the hardest thing to get your hands on. I begged, I pleaded, I may have even bribed a few Yankee Candle associates to get my hand on this notebook. I was actually even considering applying for Yankee Candle just to get this book. However, since then, they have released on the websites, the UK and the US website, the fragrance description, meaning the poetic, like a night, a cool night with purple horizons and mist in the air, you know, very poetic descriptions. And then they have their fragrance notes, the top notes, the mid notes, or the heart notes, and the base notes. I caution you though, I caution you who asked the question, Jordan, don't take these literally. Especially when you see things like sea breeze, driftwood, amber. These things don't have smells. Of course they have smells, but that is not literally what they're putting inside of the candle. Again, they're poetic descriptions. Amber is a petrified piece of resin. It can't have a smell. There's nothing to volatilize. And whenever you see amber in a description note, it's just usually a combination of vanillas, you know, stronger vanillas or lighter vanillas, depending on the style. And I mentioned it in one of my past videos, labdanum. Labdanum is used in all of these Bath & Body products, but it gives you that richer, thicker, more clean smell. And it's easy to smell labdanum and think of amber. Yeah, this smells like golden amber. That's another one, golden amber. It's not a thing, people. You can't smell it. Driftwood usually means sandalwood. It's not like they're pulling out driftwood from the ocean and extracting oils from it. They wouldn't do that. Nobody would do that. I wish people would do that, but they don't do that. Driftwood is just a synonym in the fragrance industry for sandalwood. And Anne brings up a good point. Please no more poetry, Yankee. I have to order online, and that doesn't help a bit. It's a big debate, isn't it? Because there's communication. You could rather be completely literal and say exactly what you put in it, which would be a bunch of aldehydic fragrance oils, which would confuse everybody, like aldehyde number 5 and 12. Do you guys know what they smell like? I don't know. But my guess, the way they come up with these fragrance notes is that they have a panel, like Family Feud, and they ask people what they smell inside the candle, and they ask them to be very descriptive about it. And, you know, things like black orchid will come up, you know, black sand beach, black orchid. Orchids do have a smell, but it varies from variety to variety. Black orchid is one of those that does not necessarily have a distinguishable aroma, but it sounds really pretty when you see a black candle and one of the fragrance notes says black orchid. So going back to what I was saying, Jordan, don't take those fragrance notes too literally. Take it with a grain of salt, and always, 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 always smell the candle before you even come close to any of those descriptions. Because it does not help you out. What it does is it pre-implants expectations in your head, and you don't want that. That is if you really want to become good at evaluating candles. If you really don't care, and the poetry helps you with the communication to help you paint that portrait in your head of what the candle might be, then Yankee's doing a good job. And Kringle Candle started doing it first. So I think Yankee, after all those years, finally started listing the fragrance notes after Kringle started actually listing on the top sticker of the jar the actual fragrance notes. And it's the same thing with Kringle. They literally put green as one of their fragrance notes. So it's not helping with educational purposes. So I recommend checking out folks like Anthony. I unfortunately do not get to watch any other reviewers, evaluators. Whenever Anthony's video comes around, I'm relaxing in the morning, having coffee, I'll put Anthony's videos on. Just has really, kind of, I just love it. I mean, it's the way it's relaxing. It's kind of like Bob Ross. I hope that's not an insult to you, Anthony, but it's just relaxing to hear him speak about the candles. What's different between his videos and mine are heavily edited, where Anthony just kind of, he picks up the candle and he just goes, and he talks about it. Stream of consciousness, and you got to admire that. Da, 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 da. So, I see Jackie saying, so funny, Cheryl, we want UK stuff. I am starting, I have started, but I will be, from this point forward, evaluating both US and UK candles, as long as I can get my hands on the UK. Because there's scary rumors that all of the European fragrances are going to they're going to start producing them in the Czech Republic, out of the factory in Czech Republic. So that means the UK fragrances will never even have been in the United States. A lot of people are upset about this. Obviously, it saves Yankee tons of money. I understand why they would do it. Jordan says, Jordan, you're just bringing up great questions today. I love this. In general, it seems that many of the new Yankee candles are not as strongly scented. Do you agree? Times have changed, Jordan. This is the way I look at it. And for those of you who've heard me give this speech before, I apologize. But the candle world, candle making, the art of mixing fragrance oils with paraffin wax and now soy wax and all different kinds of waxes, but it's become much safer. I think at a certain point, Yankee realized that their candles, the additives, the compounds, the things that they're putting into the candle were dangerous. They were dangerous, but they helped out with the power of the aroma. Very strong aromas. So we're going through this transition where Yankee Candle's not going to come out and say our candles are different because the ones we were making before are killing you or damaging your lungs or ruining your eyes or making your walls greasy. They're not going to admit to that, but the art of making candles has changed. It's become much more eco-friendly. It's become healthier. And with this transition, yes, you know, there are times when you're smelling a Black Band Harvest. Mine's all the way over there, but here's a relatively new one. 2014, God. I thought it was newer than that. Now this one smells absolutely, positively, bombastically, powerfully strong. But other fragrances, maybe like Spiced Pumpkin, I've heard people say, what's the other one people are always complaining about? Spiced Pumpkin? People are saying Spiced Pumpkin, not as powerful. I mean, yeah, it's, you know, I'm smelling this right now, I'm getting honey grams, like the honey Teddy Grams. Interesting. But that is, you know, it's the case. I think that the soy wax will give you a bigger, powerful smell, but the radius that it covers won't nearly be as strong as a paraffin house warmer. So if you want a very powerful smell in a smaller radius, go with the soy. Keep that wick small, right? We love to see the big blazing flame, but keep that small. Where with the paraffin wax, you can keep them, the wicks, a little bit longer. The scent won't be as strong, but you'll notice it carries further. This is all from my years of experimenting with Yankee candles. And Liz from Witch City Wicks, she has really shown me and taught me a lot about candles and why she's chosen soy wax instead of paraffin wax. Let's get a candle lit. I was supposed to do this at the beginning. Where'd it go? Dreamy summer nights. This is my go-to Game of Thrones candle, but I still have a bunch of Game of Thrones themed candles that I'm going to share with you at some point. Let's get this one going. And you'll notice what I did was I put this cozy on here. This was sent to me by Music Beauty, YouTube user Music Beauty. It's a hand-stitched, handmade cozy. If you live like a polar bear like me, I don't even have the heat on in the office right now. You're gonna need this because it takes a lot more heat to melt that paraffin and have it pool out. You won't have that problem with soy wax. It's a lower viscosity wax. Is there a candle coming to the US soon named White Chocolate? I've seen some pictures of it, but nothing definite. Would love to try to get my hands on it. There's been several white chocolate themed candles in the past, but this one is strictly white chocolate, and it is coming to the US. I don't know. It sounds something that, if Anthony's still here, maybe he knows. It sounds to me like it's something that's going to be an online exclusive. And it's probably going to be released probably right before or during the Easter season. Oh, you saw? Well, look at this. Eric, thank you. I saw White Chocolate and Hallmark already. Man, I don't know what's going on with Hallmark. They're getting candles really early. Really early. So if you look in the description of my recent videos, you'll actually find the entire lineup of what is out and what will be coming out in the first quarter of 2018. So the ones that have already been released: Juicy Citrus Sea Salt, Sun-Drenched Apricot and Rose, that's going to be US and UK. Rainbow Cookie, US and UK. Peaches and Cream, Early Spring Bloom, US and UK. A Calm and Quiet Place, US and UK. Sweet Nothings, US and UK. Life's a Breeze, which is not out. And if Anthony says Wildflower Blossoms or Blooms is not coming out to March 4th, I'm guessing that's the same date that we're going to see Life's a Breeze. That and Color Me Happy. Those two are not going to be in the UK. We have Wildflower Blooms, White Chocolate, and here we have Sweet Candies, which is UK, Misty Mountains, UK, Coconut Splash, UK, Enchanted Moon, UK, Poached Pear Flambe, UK, Sun-Kissed Thistle, UK, and Cinnamon and Cedar, UK, and most likely the US at some point, and Sparkling Flame, UK, and maybe the US at some point. I just can't confirm for sure because I haven't seen the US labels anywhere, but I've heard rumors from the UK QVC crowd that Cinnamon and Cedar and Sparkling Flame will be making their way to the US. But you can also find them in your outlets. Again, if you're shopping at the outlets, look for candles that have sloppy poured wax, or wax that's not filled to the top or too high, or the label looks really crappy. That's going to give your highest chance, highest probability that there's nothing wrong with the actual fragrance. The reason why it's at an outlet is because it looks bad aesthetically. So there you go. There's a lot of candles here on this list. If you go into any of my recent videos, you'll find that entire list. And most of them are, there's plenty of pictures on the website. So just Google image search them, you'll find what the labels look like. I have Color Me Happy in the scent plug. I haven't found the candle yet, nor am I really looking for it. I feel like several people reviewed it, and from their review, it sounds, you know, Eric was even saying that from my review, it sounded pretty accurate to what it is. Yes, the men's candle line is discontinued. However, this goes out to everybody. Thank you, Eric. Your review was spot on. Thank you. This goes out to everybody. The men's candle line, this was things like Lawnmower, this was On Tap, this was Man Town or Man Cave. There was a bunch of them. And there was a barbershop collection as well that was geared towards men. They're very expensive. If you look for them on eBay or any other like secondhand thrift shop sort of websites, if anyone is really interested in one of those candles, I can get them at the most appropriate cost. I don't want to invest in them for myself, but if anyone's desperately looking for any of the men's candles, Bacon was another one. I have a source. I know people. I know a person. I know a guy where I can get these at a decent price. Two by four. Thank you, Laura. 2x4. That one I really liked. That's probably the one. That and Lawnmower, the ones I really liked. And I just don't see why that's men's collection. Women don't like the smell of Home. Who doesn't like the smell of Home Depot? And I don't know where Yankee is getting this idea, but Lawnmower, you know, it's not just men cutting lawns. Candle Cafe, Shane, what are your thoughts on the treasures returning? You know, it's interesting, Anthony, because you know, it's obviously that they're still trying to figure out the look, the aesthetic. I found cinnamon vanilla, which would be, because it was retired 4 years ago, I think. I found it at Deerfield, and technically that would be a returning favorite or a treasure, but it looked perfectly ordinary. It didn't have the gold band returning favorite. It had the keyhole label. And then I found patchouli, which had a completely different design for the returning favorite. This year, for Christmas, the returning favorites looked like this. We have all new photographs, but they are almost like replicas of the original. Just, you can see the family is wearing modern clothing. And then here in this gold banner, it says Christmas tree. This is now officially it's been changed. This is my favorite pine themed Yankee Candle. And usually there would have been a banner here that said returning favorite, but what they did now is put returning favorite right on top of the name of the candle, and they actually changed the font too. So They're obviously still trying to figure out the look. As far as, you know, them being authentic to the originals, I feel like they are. I have no qualms. But what scares me is that what happens? A returning favorite comes out. Does that mean when that season it goes away, is it not going to come back again? You know, one, Yankee Candle has, this comes from a very, very reputable source. Yankee Candle has already decided the returning favorites for Christmas up to Christmas 2019. The decisions are already made. So, like, my question is, are we going to be able to get Christmas Tree again next year? I don't think we will, which is kind of upsetting. That's why I stocked up on that candle. What else do I think about the returning favorites? Another one that I think has been retired, Anthony, is Angel's Wings, which is a very, very, very meaningful candle to me. If you don't know why, you guys are probably sick of hearing it. Just look up my Mary Tyler Moore video. This is the US label. The UK label, or the original label, was always superior to that. I actually have it somewhere, and I'll flash something real quick. What was that? What was that? Can't show you, but I managed to get that photo, personalized photo, on that candle. Yankee, I'm sorry, I had to break some rules. Some. This is interesting. Again, coming from Anthony, the Christmas ones tend to come back often, but the spring, summer, and fall ones are always changing. I can confirm we will see Campfire Treat very soon. That makes sense. That makes sense. I didn't know that, but that totally, right? I mean, that's a candle that everyone loved, and we haven't seen it in a while. Yeah, Angel's Wings, thank you, Anthony, really. I don't know if you saw that Mary Tyler Moore video. I'm kind of embarrassed and shy to watch it now. It's not my best made video, as far as, you know, narratively speaking. I felt like I made it a little bit too dramatic, but it was 100% sincere. I actually took Angel's Wings, the candle, my only one that I had at the time, and I brought it to Mary Tyler Moore's final resting place. In fact, she has almost been gone for a year. Less than a month will be the anniversary, and just for the thrill of it, I might go back, give her a quick visit, and I will be bringing you guys along as well. Shane, any thoughts on Chesapeake Bay coming to Yankee Candle stores? They are coming to the Yankee Candle stores. It's already started in some cases. I don't know when, you know, if there's like a definite date. If you're saying April, that sounds right to me. They're not at the Yankee Candle Village yet, but I've heard that they have been popping up in storefronts. And I know several of you, I think Anne was saying that Chesapeake Bay was making her ill. Certain candles from Chesapeake Bay, they've really upped their game big time. As far as the ones that I have smelled, the ones that I smelled like Candle Power, the pop-up in New York City, there was New York City at dusk and Central Park, fall in Central Park, or autumn in Central Park, and those two were mind-blowing. And even the Woodwick candle Soho. I hope you guys got your hands on those if you're collectors, because they were exclusive to the Yankee Candle pop-up storefront. Yeah, I mean, Eric, I don't know if this is what you're addressing, but yeah, I feel that what happens is Woodwick Chesapeake Bay is fine, but that's limiting the selection of the Yankee Candles that we're going to see available. And, you know, maybe that's not a bad thing. I think that would drive up their sales if candles weren't available year round. They were only available seasonally, like the Halloween candles. I think that might create a little bit more anticipation or incentive to go to Yankee Candle to pick up your favorite seasonal fragrances. That was a really nice video. I wonder if that's Nancy's referring to the Mary Tyler Moore. Any updates on fall 2018 or Halloween? Oh my God, you guys are relentless. Last year, Halloween began for me in June. People were already asking questions, so I had to cancel a bunch of plans and summer plans and start hunting down the Halloween candles. I do have some things, but I definitely don't have enough information to create a video yet. None of the candles will be available for me to hold in my hand unless Yankee Candle sends me some in this package that they're going to be sending my way. I don't know if what to expect. Yankee Candle might be shipping me like a fruit basket. They might be shipping me something else. All right, Anthony, thank you so much for joining in. It's always a pleasure to have you in the chat room. Keep up the good work, and we'll talk to you very soon. And I'll probably write you an email too to catch up a little bit. So have a great day, Anthony. Everyone say bye to Anthony. Ooh. The Troupe Loyal collection. I think they should push it more. Because it's not easy to find on the website, nor are they available in the retail stores. I could be wrong. At least the retail stores I've been to, they're not available. If I don't find them and they don't have them at Deerfield, I'm going to give it a little bit more time because I have a lot of other things that are a priority. I'll end up just buying them all, and if there's any ones I really want to keep, I'll keep. Otherwise, I'll put them up on the eBay account, so this way you guys have a chance to purchase them. The candles never really go bad. Jordan. It sounds like you asked a good question. Question for my wife. She has 117 jarred candles. How long will they hold their scent if stored properly? Who responded to that? Caress responded to that. I can testify to that. Here's how I'll do that. So Jordan, for your wife, I have a 1998 Witch's Brew. Now keep in mind that candle would have been made differently. Not the scent, but again, the additives, the compounds, that would have been made differently back in those days. And then we have this year's Witch's Brew in the paraffin form, not the soy form. So let me smell these two side by side and see if there's any diminishing. Should smell this one first. No, this one first. can't use this one. Somebody, when I bought this, somebody took a forbidden apple lid and swapped it on this. So when I smell the lid, I'm smelling green apple. All right, so I'll go to, instead of 2017, I'll go to the 2016 Witch's Brew. Yeah, I mean, there's no question that there's just a little bit more concentration. Not necessarily intensity, but there's more concentration in this candle. But again, this candle is 20 years old. My suggestion for you is buy a dehumidifier. Keep it in a nice. This is kind of a. This office sits at like beneath the foundation of this building, so it stays relatively cool in here, but the humidity does go high. So I have a dehumidifier. You want to keep it around like 70% humidity. You don't want it completely dry. But the best thing you can do is just shield your candles from light, just the way you would treat coffee. Shield your candles from light. Keep that humidity down. And these candles are cool to the touch. They should be cool to the touch. Just the worst thing you could ever do is like keep them on display all year round with the sun beating on them. You know, the fragrance oils are perishable, so they will. That's what would really destroy them. I don't know why Yankee Candle always says 5 years, because again we have. Where's the mistletoe? We have this one. I mean, that's mistletoe. I mean, if I smelled that in a store, I might have some suspicions about the quality of the wax, because it does smell old, but that doesn't suggest. I'm not trying to suggest that the you know, Yankee Candle's mistletoe is in there, but I'm smelling a little bit of that old wax smell. So 177 jars, that's a good size collection. If it's a collection, like you're not going to burn them collection, then you shouldn't have to worry about it. I would burn them though. You see this? Like, I just don't burn my candles all in one shot. You know, I've had this one since 2013. This is Crisp Morning Air. I bought this when it first came out. All of these candles have turned this seafoam color, even though I kept them in perfect lighting conditions. But it smells great, and if you put out the wick properly, you won't get the smoke taint lingering in the jar. Jordan, you're very welcome. Very welcome. Ooh, Amanda says. Amanda, you also, there was a couple comments that you left I was laughing at. I've read all of your comments to all my recent videos. In fact, what I have on my agenda today is to really try to catch up on responding to a lot of your comments. But Amanda says, I keep mine halfway to Narnia in my wardrobe. Awesome. Perfect location. Do you ever, honestly, Amanda, do you ever actually stick your hand to the back of the wardrobe, just hoping that maybe you'll feel pine trees and snow, cold breeze? Do you ever, I mean, we're all adults here, but if I had a wardrobe, I'd be doing that every day. My imagination gets the better of me sometimes. This is interesting. CMM. Do you recommend replacing the lids after each burn? I usually do, but sometimes my husband throws the lids away while the candles are burning. What's your husband doing? Don't throw out the lids. No, you don't have to replace the lids. What you need to do is, I gotta quickly put this out and relight it because this hasn't pulled out yet. the way you want to put out a candle, just in case you don't know, where is my... So you can use your wax or your wick trimmer, but let me get in close here. It's going to be very hard to see, but what I'm doing is I'm going to take that wick and I'm going to bend it down, look at that, into the wax. There's no smoke. There's no smoke taint. And then after it's been sitting in there just for a little bit, push that wick up so it's standing straight up again, just like that. And then let this completely solidify. And then when you're ready to put it back on the shelf, put the lid back on. That will prevent smoke taint from getting inside the jar. If you have a candle lit and you put the jar right on it and it smolders and you see the billowing clouds of white smoke inside, next time you smell that candle, it's gonna smell like burnt wick and smoke. So very, very easy solution to that dilemma. It's not a dilemma. Let's put this cozy back on. In my Clintons, they take all the lids off so the jar candles, to stop people from picking them up by the lids. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I hate to pick on my father, but the first time I took him into a Yankee Candle outlet, the first thing he did was pick up the candle by the lid and it smashed on the floor. So that is a problem, but taking the lids off, maybe it's just principle. I love lids on candles. I just can't stand when the wax is exposed to the air, because what that means is oxidation, just like wine, right? Or you know, think about like a 2-liter bottle of Coke or Pepsi. You know, when you displace half the bottle of Pepsi and you put that cap back in, now it's not filled with Pepsi. Now it's filled with half oxygen, half Pepsi. And there will be an oxidation experience. Oxidation is not necessarily bad, but over a course of time, it will completely damage the beverage. Same thing with wine. So what you can do is you can buy as a product on the market. There's many different companies who make it. It's cans of argon gas. And what these are used for are restaurant industry. When they say use half a bottle of wine, they spray that argon gas into the bottle and then put the cork back on. What that does is the argon gas is, it doesn't react with the wine. Or in a second, I'm going to explain why you should use it with candles. It won't, you know, it won't physically change the wax or the wine in any way. So what it does is it displaces the oxygen in the jar. So small investment. Those little cans, great argon gas. You know, you spray a little bit into your jar and then pop the lid on. That way you'll remove all of the oxygen that's in the jar. I don't do it. I used to do it. But if you want to really preserve your candles, that's the best way to do it, is to make sure that you're displacing the oxygen from the jar and replacing it with argon gas. Go to any wine shop, you'll find it. Carol's leaving. Bye-bye, Carol. And I'm sorry about the stream if it's having troubles. Apologize about that. You know, what we need to do is let me know if there's any of you out there that want to become a moderator for Smell It Sundays. If anyone, you know, makes it, let's say 90–80% of the time to these lives, let me know if you want to become a moderator, because we're slowly starting to get these inappropriate trolls, and the sad thing is, if you're listening, trolls, I know who you are. And do you want me to tell people who you are? Maybe you don't care. Thank you, Leslie. Leslie reported them. All right, so Leslie, bingo bango. You're a moderator. That doesn't mean don't feel obligated to show up every Sunday. I know everyone has a life, but when you're in the forum, and I miss something like those posts, you know, check out on stuff like that, because I honestly don't keep my eyes glued to the screen. And Nicole, I'll add you as a moderator. And what you guys can do is just what everyone has already been doing. Just remind people about things that I'm forgetting. Like new videos, eBay links, the Facebook links, stuff like that. Yeah, and Eric is here all the time. So we have 3 moderators. First come, first serve, and I love all 3 of you guys. Trust all 3 of you guys. And look at this. We have, this is getting fun. Zweeble Jack 9000, you are the oldest candle ever. Yeah, I'll go with that. If that's an insult, you really know how to make me feel great. Cause yeah, I wouldn't mind anyone calling me an old candle. That is the worst. That is the worst insult you could give me, and in a bad way, because it makes me feel good. Industrial wasteland. Burn. Lol. Yeah, right? Jackie Brown. All right, it's question time, because we're about to wrap up things. Any questions? Otherwise, I have to promote a few things. Make sure that I am keeping you guys up to date. Something I don't normally talk about, but I kind of drop it in every now and then, is patreon.com. If you don't know what Patreon is, it is essentially a site where you can add a credit card, and they'll automatically take out a certain amount of money, whether it be 50 cents or 20 bucks every month, the first of the month, and you can donate, contribute, pledge whatever spare change you have to creators, the folks producing content on YouTube. And this at this current date, it's the best way and the most reliable way. It looks like YouTube's coming up with their own system of contributing. You could do super chats. I don't recommend people do super chats because there's nothing I can really reward you with. But with Patreon, there's different tiers. There's different things. If you donate $1 a month, that is huge. Huge. You don't understand. If everyone donated $1, we would meet our financial goal. And we wouldn't have to stress out. I wouldn't have to stress out so much about keeping the budget tight. But if you get into $5, $10, $20, you get all of these incentives. So if you haven't checked it out, go to patreon.com/thecandleenthusiast. You'll see the link at the end of every one of my videos. You also see the wall of flame at the end of all my videos, where you pay a certain, or you contribute, you pledge a certain amount, and you get your name or your business on that page. If you want to promote your channel, if you want to promote your business, it's an awesome way to do that. Or if you just want to have your name in the credits, because at that level you're essentially an associate producer. But a lot of people have been supporting me, and not only that, they've been with me for a long time. So it's about time I recognize all 30 of the Patreon members. With you 30 folks, we're raising $512 a month. That's huge. And I have to say it, that money is not for me to buy Mickey Mouse, or to buy new strings for my guitar, or to buy television screens. That money, 100% of it, 100% of it goes into making videos like you saw, like ones I posted yesterday. The In-Betweens, the Aromatic Adventures, the Lizzie Borden, the Santa's Village. All of those videos take a lot of money. The candles, I can buy on my own. I'm not using that money for buying candles, but Patreon is huge. But I don't ever want you to feel like the only way to contribute to the Candle Enthusiast, or aromatically speaking, is by pledging money. Viewership is always the most important way to support this channel. That, and I guess getting friends to subscribe. That's also huge. So just have to put that out there. Also, eBay, it's the same thing. All of that money is going right back into the show. Look at this. We have 5 moderators. We're gonna keep it at that. Actually, I'm gonna just add one more. And so we have 6 moderators. So at any given time, we should have at least one of these folks in the chat room. Bum, bum, bum. Want to do that one. Oh, and the subscription boxes. See, thanks. This is why I need moderators. Subscription boxes are adorable. What are the subscription boxes? On my travels, on my journeys through New England, I'm going to be going to Los Angeles again. Eventually, I'm going to get going down to Houston. Virginia is on the horizon. Old Quebec City is also on the horizon. All that kind of stuff. On my travels, what I do is I try to pick up the most interesting finds. Candles, yes. Candles for sure. Every subscription box is going to come with candles, whether it be from a huge company or like a mom and pop shop, that to me are what I qualify as like unique finds. But what's also great about the subscription box is that I throw in a bunch of other little extras and treats and bonuses. Every box is themed based on the month. Our Christmas subscription box was, man, I wish I could have shared everything that was inside. It was just loaded with Christmas goodness. The box actually lit up. It looked like a little chimney. I loved putting them together. you know, say for example, I put for the November, I think it was the November box, I took leaves and pine cones. And, well, I'll tell you where they were from. They were from the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery. I collected some pine cones and some leaves, crushed them up, and lightly roasted them in the oven. Got to be very careful when you do that, because pine cones are very flammable. But roast them very gently, and I put them in a little jar, and I sent them out in the subscription box. So that doesn't really cost any money, but how cool is that, to have that, a little token like that, that is relevant to my show. It's an awesome, like, thing for me. To me, that's a romantic token to have. So I try to be as creative as I can to really make the subscription boxes really fun. So the subscription box, remember, is always the first and foremost thing about the subscription box is it's for a contribution. It's for a pledge, which I hopefully one day I will be able to figure out a way where I can significantly decrease the price while allowing more. So the deluxe subscription box is already filled. The 3 spots are taken. I can't make any more than that, but there are 9 openings for the subscription box, the non-deluxe, which is, trust me, it's really not that much of a difference, except, you know, a lot of the little items like those leaves or trinkets that I find, little gifts. Last January, the theme was beverages, alcoholic beverages, libations, you know, celebrate the New Year's. And I sent wine keys that I've used, like corkscrews, that I've used throughout my career working in the wine industry, because I have hundreds of them. I sent little tokens like that. So you get those little bonuses. So the prices are $75 for the standard box. I don't want to call it standard because it's an awesome box. And that is, it's going to have $30 to $35 of value. Value isn't in dollar bills inside that box, but there will be extras. That'll be value that's not financial. Value in work and creativity and awesome little finds. And you're guaranteed, it's usually at least 2 candles, but if it's a very expensive luxury candle, it's 1 candle. It's most likely 2 or even 3. The deluxe is 2 to 3 candles. Most times it's like 4, because I'll throw in a bunch of like sample travel tins, and just a little bit bigger. You get a few more cool items that come along with it. So if anyone's really interested in the deluxe, I would really have to figure out how to pull it off, because it actually takes a lot of time, because I have to know for sure that, like, I don't want to be going out and buying 5 candles and then 2 people drop off, and then I'm stuck with all this money, or all these candles, these products that now I'm not making money for them. So check them out. Only if you can spare it. The last thing I would ever want is someone who's not in a financial situation like myself to be spending $75 or $100 a month for a subscription box. But I would say if you can, go for it and share the experience. I would love for someone to actually like vlog, film an unboxing of this subscription box. So for those of you who do receive the subscription boxes, you know, hopefully that you can do that. I'm trying to read all your comments. Yes, there are 2 different types. Momo. How much is a subscription box? I have my own pine cones. But Sleepy Hollow Cemetery. Nancy said, what did I miss? Sounds like you had some excitement. We're just talking about subscription box or Patreon. Just a way to help the show. And Eric, thank you for linking that up. Momo, so it's not the value of the candles, it's a contribution. It's in return what you're receiving. It's obviously not going to be $75 worth of products. The whole point is to donate to the show. So if obviously the value of what's inside the box does not match what it's being, what the cost of the box is. In fact, it's about half. What have I missed? Have you said what your oldest Yankee Candle you've seen is? Yes, Lori, you're gonna have to go back to the beginning. Watch. I shared a lot of my old Yankee Candles today, but since we're getting to that 1 hour and a half point, we are gonna close this up. I'm gonna use the next 8 minutes for any questions. I'm gonna keep my eyes right here, and you guys let me know if you have any questions. Oh, look at this, Scott, very nice words, thank you. We have a baby Yankee Candle fan on the way, end of July. Laura, congratulations. That is super exciting. My thoughts and good wishes are with you. And I just lost this. Yeah, that's a glimpse. That's a glimpse of the collection in the background. You know, it's just a mess today. Usually I'm not filming with this camera, obviously. This is my cell phone that I'm using. So this has a much wider angle, so you see a lot more when it's positioned like this. Look at you guys. Very nice words. Yes, contribution, a pledge. It funds the content. Do I see Brian, perfect. Will you ever review candles post burn or make empty candles wax videos for the month? I don't go through a candle a month. I've never burned a candle in a month. So these videos I see on YouTube of people like having, this is what I burned this month, and they're all empty, it blows my mind. I don't know how they're going through these candles so fast. They really should be giving you at least 150 hours of burn time for a large jar. And that is a lot of time. And if you're doing that times like 5 or 10, something's up. Unless you're burning them all at the same time. So I don't do post burns, or I don't do empties. But instead of doing post burn, I do something that I came up with. I'm gonna get the trademark. I'm gonna get the trademark for this name, Aroma Prison. Aroma Prison. The process, I put in the application for the process for the trademark, and the Aroma Prison is when I take 5 grams of the actual candle and I put it inside of an airtight vessel that is neutral in aroma. And what I do is I put this in a double boiler, or just imagine like a pot of not boiling water, but hot water, until that wax fully melts. What that'll do is all of the oils will volatilize. And in the negative space in this jar, you'll have all of, you'll have the profile of the candle in its airborne state. And this way I can analyze it like this. Now, I don't do this for every candle because chopping up candles is very painful. But these candles I did back in October. These were part of the Coventry Creation Witch's Brew candles, not the Yankee Candle, Coventry Creations. And I'm telling you right now, even with that 5 grams, this thing is extremely strong. And it's your best way to get a sense of what the candle is going to be like after it's burned. You know, post-burn, like I burn the candle and I talk about my experience, there's so many different variables that go into, you know, how your candle burns. If you're burning it right, how tall your ceilings are, how much humidity is in your house, if you have a cross draft, the air pressure outside or in another room versus the room you're burning it in, the natural current flow in your room. There's quite literally hundreds of different variables when it comes to burning candles. So for someone to say and rate a candle based on like 1 through 10 burn, throw, that's a word I just don't use. The only time I use throw is when I smell it cold. Like if I smell this candle, this is throwing off a lot of aromatics. That's the only time I'll use that word, because throw is not, for me, I don't want to create an argument, but throw is not, what does it mean? Does it mean intensity of the candle? Does it mean how far the fragrance travels? Does it mean how strong it is up close to the candle versus how strong it is when you go into the next room? It covers so many different things that throw is just a blanket term for me for nothing. So it's one of my hopes, one of my goals is that we just work our way out of using that word throw. And every candle maker I've ever spoken with, first question I asked them to define throw, and they gave me this look. It goes just like this. And what they're trying to say is, this is a bad word in their industry because nobody uses it in, you know, the wax making community. And Liz and I have a whole conversation that we have from Witch City Wicks where we talked about throw, and she really just boiled it down to an excellent, she could write like an article on this concept because she's got so much feedback. Oh man, that was a long answer for a short question. Where is Santa? That is a good question. Santa is over there. He's passed out. He's lined with Elsa's stuff, her paraphernalia. And Laura says, I would like to see an Empties video. Let's do an Empties video. We'll do it real quick. These are 2 Empties that I have right here. That's it. We got peppermint bark and we have Merry Christmas. I love this candle. I bought 7 of these. This is a 2013 limited edition. Burned lovely. The scent carried very wonderfully and was intense throughout my living space. And this is one that's very special. This got me back into Yankee Candle around like 2012, 2011. I found this on a clearance aisle at Staples. I picked it up, I smelled it, and I said to myself, you know what? I love candles. Why did I ever stop buying them? So this jar is very special to me. And it's because of that reason why it remains one of my favorites. Although I have heard people say that they have bad experiences with the carry or the intensity. That's my empties. There's, of course, others, but I don't move through candles quick. How is Rudolph Santa getting along with vintage Santa? You know what? You know, they're okay. They're okay because they fully understand that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Santa is a fictitious character, right? He is a character in a movie. I'm gonna try to find him. Where did he go? I honestly can't find him. Did Santa, did you do something? Did you do something with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Santa? This is Santa. This guy I found at a random Goodwill while I was on the road, and since then he has been a staple of the Candle Enthusiast. I've had a bunch of people come out and say, what are you doing? Like, this is gimmicky. This is, you know, just like a cheap joke. I don't look at it that way. I feel like this guy is a travel companion. He's my Wilson. He's my, I guess, well, that's just it. I don't really speak to him, but I feel like having him around when I'm filming keeps me in the state of mind of what I'm filming for. And that being imagination and being youthful. I really am concerned about where the Santa is. Oh, Nancy. She goes, I'll make you some peppermint bark if you like it, Shane. I really appreciate that. However, the February usually marks the time of the year when knock off on the sweets, you know, spend a little bit more time in the gym, work on the diet a little bit. This year things got a little out of control. So right now, like, I'm so used to having those like after dinner chocolate sessions, and I just need to take a break for that for a while. But after that, Nancy, I'll totally take you up on your offer. I am burning Dreamy Summer Nights right now. That is just a pillar candle. But this is Dreamy Summer Nights right there. It's got a cozy on. I hope Yankee doesn't steer away from the story and become Bath and Body Works. Yes, to me, Yankee Candle, and I think Industrial Wastelands, or Industrial Wasteland, he agrees with me. You know, Yankee's about the story. It's about the nostalgia. It's this looks like a, you know, something that would be sitting on the shelf of my grandmother's pantry. You have all of these images that provoke heartwarming feelings. Look at this, Season of Peace. There's a story right there. There is a story. We're Bath and Body Works, I have nothing against. I have nothing against Bath and Body Works candles. However, they are very literal. Seldom do they have pictures. You know, right here, praline pecan. Guess what? It smells like praline pecan. You know, I would say Yankee Candle would, maybe back in the old days, they wouldn't call it praline pecan. They would call this, like, you know, I don't know. That's a hard one. I can't think of a name. Caramel Shop, roadside treats. I'm thinking of the I Love Lucy episode where they're driving to California and they stop off for the praline pecans. But lavender vanilla, it smells like lavender vanilla. And the thing I'll say about Bath and Body Works is the candles smell awesome. I have noticed a very significant respiratory problem though on some of the candles, where after burning them for a long period of time, chest starts to hurt. That does scare me a little bit, but that might just be an allergy for me. Maybe it doesn't translate to everybody. Yes, I've got to try a Game of Thrones marathon with that candle. Yes, you should. Yes, you should. And I've been saying it for almost a full year now. I do have other candles that are completely unrelated to Game of Thrones that would go lovely. Kringle just retired one. If I can show it. It's here somewhere. This right here, if you're Jon Snow at heart, if you enjoy the segments, the stories of Game of Thrones, where they're up north, on the wall or over the wall, the snowy landscapes, this is a candle by Kringle that has been retired, so I don't want to like bum you guys out, but I can find these if you need help. This one is called White Woods. Even the name is perfect. But this is minty, this is spicy, this is floral, and it just smells cold. It smells cold because of the mint, right? It does smell like perfectly fresh mint. No menthol, mentholyptus, Hall's cough drop thing. This smells like fresh mint and cedar. A lot of different pine notes that sweeten it up. Of course, you have some citrus in there to further sweeten it up. That is a beautiful candle for Game of Thrones. And I have more. I'm just waiting to do that episode. Is Monica back? Okay, so Monica is back, and she says, Bath and Body Works candles make me sick too. Yeah, actually, I remember, Monica, you saying that to me. And then later, when I started to burn them, I noticed it too. And Eric, if I'm not mistaken, also had the same experience. But, you know, that was a long time ago. They do soy, vegetable wax blends now. Maybe they're better. It's been a while since I burned a Bath and Body Works candle, but they do smell awesome. And for any of you guys that were here last weekend, and I showed some of the Spireside candles, they're Disney-inspired candles. This company, I was always gonna, I know Anthony's a big fan of them. I wish he was here for me to say this. I was always kind of on the ropes with them. I liked their candles, but I don't know. There was just something that restrained me from purchasing a lot of their products. However, their labels have become so incredibly gorgeous. And I started reading the fragrance descriptions, and they're really interesting. So I purchased like 6 of them now. I tried contacting them directly, but they're getting to that high level production company. So it's not like a mom and pop thing. But I have a bunch of them. I will be doing a video on them soon. I'm excited. They just released a very special edition, limited release candle that is really nice, and it pulls at the heartstrings. I'm a big Disney fan, And this one, wait, what is this? Hi guys, we just touched down in LA, headed to Disneyland. I'll be sure to watch this when I get at the hotel tonight. Okay, Nikki, if you do something for us, I will send you free of charge, free candle. I'll find something special. Go do a meet and greet with one of the princesses, like my brother does. My brother's got a whole channel where he interviewed Minnie Mouse. Like, who does that? My brother. Leave it to him, and it's awesome. Interview one of the princesses. Get some video. Have a shout out. Say, hi, Candle Enthusiast. I don't care if it's Jasmine or Rapunzel. Have them give the Candle Enthusiast a shout out. And maybe even, I don't know, bring a candle as a gift if you want. If you do that, something like that, anything you do, I'll send you a free candle because that would just be really cool. I love getting shout outs from the princesses, and it makes great Instagram videos. Real quick, 2-3 seconds tops. And have a great time, Nikki. I was supposed to be there this time of year. It actually would have been right about now, like a week ago I was supposed to go, and couldn't make it happen. Monica, you've been watching this whole time. And here I feel bad because I missed your live yesterday. Monica and my brother have a live Saturday morning chat, all Disney related. My brother recently got up, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. He went to Hollywood Walk of Fame, you know, with the stars on Hollywood Boulevard. He went there right outside the El Capitan Theater, the Disney-owned theater, where the Katy Perry dedicated, I don't know if she dedicated, but she announced Minnie Mouse's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Long overdue, but he was there early in the morning. He got all this great footage. Check that out if you're a Disney fan. Channel's Eric Peter Carlson, but they do have lives every Saturday. And I feel bad because I missed out on it yesterday because I was shipping eBay products, I was grocery shopping, I was just, it's my errand day on Saturday. So have fun, Nikki. Bath and Body Works smell like kerosene while burning, and they never used to. I can't really make a comment there. However, I know there's a lot of Yankee Candle or Bath and Body Works fans out there. And if anyone has a good idea of candles that I should buy, I heard there's a new collection. Angie or Rebecca was telling me something about it. Tell me what you want to see me evaluate. I'll go out, I'll buy the candles, I'll evaluate them, I'll have a whole Bath and Body Works video. I don't keep up to date with Bath and Body Works collections like I do with Yankee Candle. Monica asks, am I coming to Disneyland? Yes, I think right now it's going to be, you know, like April, May-ish. I hope it's April because May it'll be hot and busy. But, you know, it's just hard to avoid the crowds no matter what time of the year you go now. Nicole asked, did I find the Pillsbury candles yet? I didn't. And what's makes me angry is I was at a Stop and Shop yesterday, but it recently was converted to a Tops. Tops. That used to be like a northern New York grocery store, I think. And I looked at the candle section, and all they had were Village candles. I will find them, I will buy them, I will evaluate them, and it will be a lot of fun. If you don't know what she's talking about, Nicole is referring to, she found some Pillsbury treat candles, like cinnamon buns and like croissants. Whoa, review the new low-profile Bath & Body Works candles, avocado coconut and carrot nectarine. That sounds really interesting. That, wow. When you say low profile, what do you mean? Like they're not popular? Jackie Brown. All right, so I went away, but I still had you on TV. I live about 5 miles from Disney Orlando, and I'm going to make a shout out to you. From a princess. I have a season pass. Thank you so much. It's been years since I've been to Walt Disney World. I'm a big Disneyland fan. My family or my brother, my sister-in-law, whatever it may be, we're planning a trip to Walt Disney World one of these days soon. I can't wait to go. But a shout out and bonus points if it's Ariel or Belle. Now I'm just starting to sound creepy. But those were my princesses growing up. I guess Cinderella too. I watched Cinderella on VHS like every day. Do I have a shop? I do have a ShopRite in my area. I just have to stop off. I will get them. Maybe we'll do it for next Smell It Sunday. Season pass. My dream in life is to have the Disney Premier Pass, which is a coast-to-coast pass, which gets you into the park. No blackout dates, whether it be Disneyland or Walt Disney World. It costs about $1,500 a year. But man, like, I could think of a lot of things that people would spend $1,500 on a year that, like, I don't like indulge in things like that. Like, I don't spend $1,500 a year on candles. I certainly don't. So having that coast-to-coast Premier Pass would be awesome. There's an Ariel's Grotto. Oh yeah, there is an Ariel's Grotto in Disney World. They just closed the one in Disneyland. Sad face. Sad face. Another reason why you should check out my brother's video, because he documented essentially the last visit to Ariel's Grotto. Nancy, yeah. Time to do Disney. You know what? I will go out on a limb and say it will in some way change your life for the better if you've never been to a Disney park. Look at that. Look at that. Nicole went to Disney World in December. She sent like this care package for me, and it was perfect because I opened it up on Christmas Day. Monica was there, my brother was there. It was absolutely awesome. And the reason why this is empty is because it was consumed in like a week because it was so good. Disney does have their own line, Disney Parks, their own line of coffees. And you picked out the perfect one. Road trip for the Candle Enthusiast group to Walt Disney World. Let's raise money for it, and I'll book the flight. You guys, anybody can meet me. We'll all hang out at Disney World. And first stop will be Epcot to ride the Frozen ride. my treat. I'll buy everyone a dessert, like ice cone, something like that. I don't know, making stuff up now. We need shirts. That's a good point. And I know I'm going over time, so if anyone needs to check out, feel free to check out. We've been going on for a long time, but that brings up a great point. T-shirts. What do you guys think would be good merchandise? Is for I'm getting all my notifications off the phone. For the Candle Enthusiast. Witch City Wicks. Liz has these awesome little stickers. I love this. So I was thinking like a postcard. That's not actually a postcard, but just like a business card, but just bigger. I was thinking about stickers. There's T-shirts. There's hats. I have a really cool idea, and I don't want to give it away. That I think is very unique. A very unique idea I'm trying to work on. There's another product that I'm trying to get made, so we have some revenue for you fans to purchase. But what do you guys, what would you want to see, like as far as merch? Santa merch. So yes, I would be much happier to put Santa on a t-shirt that says, I don't know, something funny, a nice tagline. Unfortunately, I don't have any catchphrases, but that would be cool. Reusable bags, like tote bags. Lighters is a good one. Lighters. Where has CandleCafe? Anthony had to check out a while ago. And thank you very much, Richard, for saying that I am including Anthony over your favorite channels. That's really awesome to hear. Lighters, okay. There's one I did not think of. I was thinking about matches. Like, again, Yankee Candle. It wouldn't be one of these. It would be one of those, you know, you slide the little drawer out and pick a match and like that kind of matchbook. Reusable tote. I like that. The t-shirt I'm afraid of because I would want to buy them in bulk. The problem there is you have to buy them like in every size, right? Like extra small, small, medium, large, 2XL. And then you have like men's fit, women's fit. And then like hoodies would be awesome. I love hoodies. But again, the price would probably be too steep. The t-shirt would be great advertisement though, you're right. There's a great company called, oh God, I'm forgetting the name. They're based in Los Angeles. Essentially, it's like if you want to buy a shirt, you place an order with them or on my page, but the order gets sent to them. They print the shirt of your size and then they send it to you. So I have no, like, I don't have to do anything. I'm not shipping to you. And they're really good with, like, if it's, you know, you're not happy with the artwork, if it looks weird, they'll replace it. Spreadshirt, thank you, Spreadshirt. They do hats, they do t-shirts, so maybe we'll start doing that. Well, maybe we'll start doing that. The sad thing is with Spreadshirt is that the sale of one t-shirt is really small, like my cut for, again, not my cut, but for the production. It's like something like $1 for one t-shirt. I don't know if we're going to be selling that many t-shirts, but it's still worth a shot. Entire car wraps. Yes, that would be perfect. Yes, so spreadsheet, maybe we'll do that. And then, like I said, I'm working on 2 secret products, merchandise. some merchandise that I think are going to work out. One, I'm working with a company who makes a particular product, and then they're going to customize it for me. The other one, I have to completely design, make, and have them manufactured. But I'm confident that you guys will really like them. Coasters is another great one. Zoe Jane, Poland is in the house. Hi guys, Poland is here. Glad to have you, Poland. Is Monica still here? Monica's from Poland. Bumper stickers, oh God. If I ever saw a bumper sticker from the Candle Enthusiast on someone's car, I don't know what I'd do. All right. You guys have been awesome. Thank you for joining in today. Really good questions. Good chat. I want to give a couple shout outs. Aaron James, brand new Patreon member. I want to thank you for your contribution. And I mean that sincerely from the bottom of my heart. And I want to, there's some other folks who joined Patreon. I want to give them shout outs. If I can't do it right now, I'll do it in the future. Patreon.com. Candle. And yeah, so we have 30 Patrons, $517. The goal is 1,100. So we're a little less than halfway there as far as reaching our goal. And we can start hitting the road. Let's look for these patrons. We have several new patrons this month. Oh God, this is not gonna work. I need a timeline. Anyway. I will give you guys a shout out at some point. I can't figure out where you go to find the new folks. What's coming up in the future? I'm going to spend the rest of the day commenting on your guys' comments, responding to your comments. What's becoming a priority right now is the Witch City Wicks candles. I really want to evaluate a bunch of them, but I don't want to just be sitting here. I want to give the candles. I want to be in a place, a setting that is worthy of Liz's candles. And if you haven't visited Witch City Wicks, visit her on Instagram. Witch City Wicks is her handle. Say hello. Say hi, how you doing? Say the Candle Enthusiast sent you. Doing stuff like that is really going to help us out with getting more promotional codes. We had a great promotional code back in October. And according to Liz, it really worked out. That Holy Ground candle, which is my favorite, Holy Ground. I mean, it's amazingly beautiful. She said she could not keep that candle on the shelf after I made my video on that candle, which just made my day when she told me that. We also we're going to be highlighting cottage wicks very soon. We're going to be highlighting Spireside. We're going to be highlighting a very new company, Find and Refine candles, very shortly. And Eric, if Eric's still here, I told you challenge accepted. As far as Wolfbane, I will be introducing you to Wolfbane in its full large format jar. very soon. Still proved to be easier to find than Witch's Cauldron. So excited to share that with you. And I'll pop a couple up on eBay, so give a chance for everyone to buy one. Maybe we'll do a give. We gotta do a giveaway very soon. So let me work on that. I'll announce that on a spontaneous vlog this week. And then we have Root Candle. Root Candle reached out to me, and I'm being so irresponsible because this is a big, big company. They reached out to me. They said they love my videos and they would love for me to review some candles. I have 3 candles that they sent me, and I'm going to be producing some videos on them as well. So that's what's coming up in the near future. So thank you for joining on this Sunday. I hope everyone has a nice Sunday dinner planned, relaxing, maybe a beverage or two, a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, some ginger tea, whatever is your bag. And you'll be seeing me, guys. You'll be seeing me, guys. You'll be seeing me, guys. You will be seeing me very soon. Thanks again for joining. Question of the day. Now, you have to remember, you got to come back because this video isn't officially uploaded. You got to come back and list this in the comments. Plus, listing comments it helps the video out a lot. What are some of candle products, candle companies, a specific candle from a company? I want you guys to find one that's super passionate to you, a company or a specific candle, and say, I really, really hope that you evaluate this someday, because I'm really going to start taking that seriously now that we have this live channel. I might just pop up live, evaluate the candle live, and we'll start knocking candles off the list. That's it for me, guys. Thanks again. Awesome comments today, and I will be seeing you soon. Title of the video, the oldest Yankee Candle Halloween scented themed candle right here. At least as far as I've seen. If you have one that's older, or if you've seen one that's older, or if you have a picture of one that's older, please share it. Please share it. Email me, CandleEnthusiast@yahoo.com. Bye-bye, guys. Have a great Sunday. Pleasure to speak with you all. I can't reach it. There it is.